For centuries, the prophecies of Nostradamus have been part of the historical record. While highly speculative and controversial, their author's legacy endures. Viewer discretion is advised. December 21st, 2012. Daybreak doesn't come. All remains dark. The world has come to an end. Many ancient cultures from across the globe describe startling events that seem to be taking place now. Are they pointing to 2012? Newly discovered drawings that many believe are from the famed prophet Nostradamus may hold the answer.
We're really on the edge of the biggest ride in all of history.
Life on Earth has faced extinction at least 5 times before. Is Nostradamus telling us that another epic disaster is on the way?
2012 is kind of the beginning of upheavals in the world, rather than the end.
Is 2012 the year the cosmic clock finally winds down to 0 days, 0 hope? Decoding the final predictions of Nostradamus may provide the critical answers before the clock strikes 2012. The recently discovered lost book of Nostradamus reveals drawings that may contain coded clues about what will happen in 2012. Like Nostradamus's quatrains, these drawings give dire warnings, and this popular prophet's immense stature makes them difficult to ignore.
Many people today, when they find themselves frustrated by the inability of science to answer some of the deepest questions of our time, are looking to the past. And this is where we look to the great seers of the past, such as Nostradamus.
Our planet is faced with crises of alarming complexity. Oil shortages, vanishing species, deadly tsunamis, economic chaos, and nuclear threats. Is this coincidence, or is something more ominous unfolding?
We are reaching a confluence of tipping points in fundamental systems. There's tipping points in the energy system, there's tipping points in the climate systems of the planet, there's tipping points in terms of the financial system, food production, water issues.
We're at the moment when all of these things converge, that time when the world is either destroyed or made new or both.
Every world culture has always had its own prophecies of an end times. I think it's only natural that people are feeling a connection between our cultural traditions with what is happening in the world today.
Eerier still, some believe these same prophecies are portrayed in the Lost Book's images. All seem to point to the fact that in 2012, from the Earth's perspective, the Sun will align with the center of the Milky Way galaxy in an incredibly rare astronomical phenomenon that occurs only once every 26,000 years.
Half the 26,000-year cycle coincides pretty darn accurately with the last ice age and the end thereof, and to talk about the greatest time of global warming was the melting of the last ice age. God forbid we should be in for something of that magnitude.
Because the Earth is rotating, our view of the stars changes over time. The galactic alignment, in simplest terms, is when the Sun appears to rise in a direct line with the center of the Milky Way galaxy. According to an array of ancient cultures, this alignment seems to signify a time of traumatic change.
The world as a whole feels like we're approaching some kind of passage. And I think what is at the root of this is the galactic alignment.
One of the most significant ancient cultures thought to have observed this phenomenon is the Maya, famous for their advanced grasp of astronomy. Their possible warning that this alignment of the sun and the galaxy center, known as the Dark Rift, might bring terrible consequences, is believed to be repeated by a number of ancient cultures.
Most of these end times, apocalyptic predictions and visions of the future have centered on the fact that when the sun is rising in this dark rift, it's going to be bad. This is the time of cataclysm. This is the time of destruction.
The ancients knew how to be at one with themselves, with all of nature, with all of life, with all of the cosmos. And we have lost touch with that. A lot of what is happening now, particularly with the changes that are taking place in the ecology, within the oceans, all of these things, which were all predicted by Nostradamus and several other different prophets.
Like the Maya and other cultures before him, Nostradamus looks into the stars and sees coming danger.
There will be a great shedding of blood. Heaven will appear unjust. Both on land and sea and in the air, cults, famine, kingdoms, plagues, confusion.
A controversial figure shrouded in mystery, Nostradamus died almost 500 years ago, centuries and worlds away from 2012. Yet time and again, his predictions are interpreted as highly accurate.
He has foreseen many of the major events, changes in terms of politics, religion, even science and inventions.
Why is he the only one we're talking about in 4.5 centuries? There's only one reason. Because every so often comes a bright light of clear data that could only have happened from somebody who saw it before it happened.
When a manuscript with Nostradamus' name on it appears at a book exhibition in Rome, there is talk that the timing of its discovery is no accident. This controversial book contains a series of 7 images that some experts believe is a detailed chronology of the coming crisis in 2012.